So Joe or Ron, you guys got another question for before I open it up?
No?
Well, I figured we open it up. Let's open it up. No
All right, so
money,
listen,
no money out
everybody,
of his pocket. Nice.
please throw your questions in the chat. I'm gonna go back up and see any other questions that I missed, but ask your questions, throw your questions in the chat. Let's get to it. So I'm gonna start. I see Shirley.
Let's
She said,
introduce
"Why
our
did?"
panelists.
Huh? Oh,
Sorry about
Yeah,
that, brother.
everybody can follow us. It's Jason McCracken right there. You can follow him at Bartender J, Joe Styles, at Joe Styles, myself, and of course Juan Carlos right here. You can follow us. We are real people doing investors, and follow us and ask questions. Let's go.
yes, that is our Instagram, IG. You want to look this up? Like you said, make sure we're real people doing real things. Fact check us. All right. So Shirley, excuse me, Shirley says, "Why did you decide to invest in Iowa?"
Um, Good question. So my sister is out there, right? She's out there, and so is my dad. And so it just kind of gives me that peace of mind, more say that if I needed to, I could have somebody pop in. But again, I have my realtor as well, and she's a beast. She's a beast. Anything I needed, right? Down to wire transfers. I mean, down to if I couldn't get the earnest money shipped over there in time, I'll just PayPal her and she'll get the money. It's just little things like that make the process a lot easier. So that was why I chose it. And it is there's an Army arsenal, right? There's an arsenal kind of in the middle, what you guys would call Roosevelt Island. So there's like that same kind of concept over there. And what that is a post, an Army installation. So there's always, there's always people PCS in there, permanent change of station there. They're kind of retiring there. And so I know I like I'm not going to have a problem getting a tenant, right?
Got you. All right. So, talk about speaking of getting tenants, do you talk about maybe sometimes getting veterans and things of that nature, or people who are in the service? Talk a little about that, and then how you're guaranteed to get your money, which you had talked about on one of your other rentals that you use.
Yeah. So like with my first rental, it was it was a son or something that wanted to do it, but his mom, I had co-signed, and she was a GS 13 or something, GS 14 on the installation. So you see a lot of that, and all that means to me is that I don't have to deal with any unnecessary problems at the end of the month. That's kind of what I want to ensure.
So what happens if, like, when those type of tenants stop paying? How can you still get your rent?
If they don't pay, see, the cool thing with the VA, like if I know there's a way, I haven't done it, I could rent to veterans specifically. And with veterans, if a lot of them get BAH, right? A lot of basic housing allowance. And with that BAH, it's on cost of living. And it depends on where you're at, whatever zip code that may be. And the Army gives them a specific amount to specifically pay their rent, wherever they're living, right? And that's separate from their regular check. So kind of like Section 8, it's pretty much the same thing. The money's coming from the government one way or the other, and you're gonna get it, period. So same concept.
Ernest, what's up, Ernest? Glad you made it this afternoon. He says, what is your ROIs on your properties? ROI, return on investment, if you didn't know what that means.
Yeah, this one, what did I have it at? 29, 28, 26, 29, 26%, just the cash on cash. Right, that's her estimated ROI for the cash on cash, around like 26, 29%. Right, but that doesn't include, again, like her appreciation. That doesn't include the depreciation she can get, and that doesn't include, like, the other tax benefits you have for owning or being a landlord, right? So that's kind of those other 3 ROIs that you kind of don't account for, right? Because it's not in your check on a monthly basis, but when you present it to somebody, it's like, oh, and then you could get, you know, equity into a home at the same time. Oh, and then that could eventually be a HELOC that I could, you know, it's just so many options afterwards that they can go at that. Yeah. But
Yeah, JC, I'm glad you touched on that, man. The ROI on, I want to add to the ROI on the investment is a lot more than just, oh, I'm getting $300 a month or 300 and some change, and this is my third. The couple of ROIs is the fact that it is your third rental, right? That another return is the amount of knowledge that you got, right? The amount of knowledge that you got is another return on the investment. The confidence that you're exuding right now, right? That, like, that's a return on investment. You know, that was a good question that you asked, because the stuff that we do, it is an investment, and the return that we get from being able to do properties and understand financial literacy and the things that we learn how to do, you know, to set ourselves, to set our families, you know, the way that we want, you know, to have legacy and things like that, that return is infinite. You understand? That return is infinite, right? So the person that asked that question, the return on investment, when you invest in this type of stuff, like this type of, you know, knowledge, the return is 100% infinite all the time. Right? You can't even account, and I know the rest of my people here can attest to that. The things that we learn and how we become and what we become from knowing this type of stuff. That's the type of return we're talking about when I talk about infinite.
All right. Deanne wanted to know, what's up, Deanne? How long did it take for the appraisal?
This bank has been crazy. The appraisal, what was it, 30, 20, 25 days? 25 days, right? Take 30 days to close the loan. About 25 days in, I got the appraisal, right? So as is 71, and then, you know, the high end was like 120.
So tell a little about the challenges you had with this property, because you were supposed to have closed.
Oh my gosh. So I was
Tell the people a little, because this kind of, you know, piggybacks up. Neville asked a question, out of your 3 deals, in your opinion, which one seems to be the easiest? And easy, that's a tough word when you talk about real estate, but and most lucrative. So kind of touch upon some of the challenges that you have with just even closing this one property, because you were supposed to close on this property like a little while ago.
Yeah, I was supposed to close. This property has been interesting, man. Like, we ended up going with a new lender this time. For what reason, I really don't know. But yeah, they incompetent, I guess. I don't know what else to say, but what I will say is the understanding mortgages class kind of not assisted me. It really gave me the answers to know exactly what I needed to tell them to do, right? And I feel like after this, I might go and get an application with them for the amount that I feel like I was delegating these guys on what they needed to do to get this deal closed. The challenges here is just, I don't know, was it just like the communication? The communication was the hardest part with this deal. It was just, I don't know if the mortgage lender was new or she just didn't like me much, but the flow wasn't good. Like with my last 2, I had a mobile notary come out to do the closing. They signed, sent it back. I closed the next day. With this one, it's like they've never heard of a mobile notary. And even when I did get it or asked for one, they still didn't know what I was talking about. Didn't even know that their title company did mobile notaries. I had to refer them one. So that kind of, those slight miscommunications, to say the least, is what kind of delayed the closing, right?
All right, cool. So again, you used the CARES Act. So Michelle threw it in the chat as well, the Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economic Securities Act. Thank you for that. She also talks about another thing, which is definitely good, the PPE loans and SBA loans for businesses. So that's another thing, if you're looking to get into, doing some deals taking advantage of the opportunity, right? You could definitely look into that. So she also asked, were there any lawyer fees, and is this all the numbers?
Yeah, that's all the numbers, and then no lawyer fees. It's not an attorney closing state, so. But education does say we should get one. You should probably, just in case, out of state. But again, like being that I had people there, I didn't feel the need. But I would recommend you probably get one. Just in case.
Cap wants to know, what relationship do you have in those states such you didn't have to see the properties before closing the deals? Good question, Cap.
Question. So Kep, I have that's like a mama bear out there, right? My sister is out there, and she's been out there for some years now, and it was actually through that relationship between my sister and my realtor, Lori. I'll actually give her name, Lori. And whoever wants her information afterwards, just let me know. I can give that to you. But it was through that relationship I visited, I met her a couple of times, and nothing but love. Seriously, this girl, she's a Texan, you know what I mean? She knows like my mom back in Hawaii. She knows my nephew. So for me, it's just that's the kind of relationship that I had, right? It wasn't nothing of malice. And then obviously my sister was out there, so when I needed help getting quotes with the contractors for the carpet, I was like, hey, yo, Slosh, she's a college student. So I was like, hey, you want to make $100 real quick? Hey, go shoot to this carpet place and pick out some carpet for me that you'd probably like yourself. And hey, make sure the paint scheme is nice. All right, cool, thanks. And then that's kind of how I was able to work it there without seeing the property, right? I had those kind of eyes.
Relationship, basically.
Relationship.
Got good relationship.
That is king.
That's the key currency that a lot of people
most precious, right?
Yeah. Precious, because we're talking about people.
Yes.
So Pam asks, are all 3 properties in Iowa? So no, one of them, this one's in Iowa. The other 2 are in Illinois. But he call it, what's the word? Quad City.
Yeah.
The Quad City. So they're, what's the radius you would say? So, how many miles are each of the properties about?
No more. 30 would be excessive. 30 miles would be excessive.
So they're all right near each other.
Yeah. Picture like Manhattan and then like Jersey City, Hoboken, West New York, like that kind of radius. Picture that. So that's exactly what it looks like just in Iowa, Illinois side.
Yeah. So Janet asks, did you use your VA loan? Good question, Janet. He's gonna love to answer this question for you.
That's good. So it's funny that you say that. Who asked that?
Janet.
Janet, funny you asked that. So I'm working that now here, a VA loan in Jersey to get in, but no, I can't, because with the VA loan, you have to make it your primary residence, right? And since they're out of state, I can't really finesse that, right? I would have to figure out a way to get mail there for like 3-6 months or something like that out of the year to say that it's a primary residence. And that's just, I'm just not trying to deal with that. I've seen, never mind. It's possible.
So that's all you would put on that one?
With the VA loan?
Yeah.
What should I add on it?
I don't know. I just want to make sure you're done.
Nah, that's it. I couldn't use it for this one. It's not the primary. There's ways you can, You just got to prove to the bank that you live in at that residence for 3 to 6 months out of that year. How you do that is it's completely on you, but there's ways, right? If you have that capability, if you have that option, and you got a family member in a certain place, maybe you could work it.
Right. We definitely had a girl on the team use a VA loan.
Yeah, on a duplex.
Yeah, the great thing on a VA loan is it's 100%. So
Yeah, down 0% down.
0 down, they
Yeah.
cover 100%. So that VA loan, if you have the ability, I would highly recommend, seeing if you could use that to get funding for your deals.
I would go for a duplex. Any person who had
Yeah,
a
duplex probably,
duplex, man, triplex, something
like that.
yeah, don't just get a house, man.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, what's up, Jasmine? Jasmine says she feels like it was doable due to the purchase prices of the properties. In Massachusetts, the prices are never that low unless the building is condemned. She says she feels that buying properties where she is, since she has a 3-family already, is not as simple. Do you have any advice for people in areas with higher buying prices, especially in areas where the rents and prices are going up rapidly due to new developments and community transportation?
You sound like you in New York. You sound like you in New York, huh?
She's actually in Massachusetts, but
That's
we're in New
okay.
York,
Close,
right?
it's close. So, I mean, Joe told me one time the check is the same, right? So I wouldn't. My advice would be get with the community, right? That would be my advice. Get with the community, and get your knowledge up, right? Because that was honestly, this whole matrix was what allowed me to just be able to do that, right? It was the education, it was the community, and then I combined that, and then I was able to do kind of like my own thing out there. If it wasn't for those two, I would not have the confidence to go and buy out of state, period. Right? I wouldn't even have the confidence to buy in state. Because like I said, even when I came to Joe and the community back then, when I thought I knew and I had a multi-family, I was using my VA loan, right? For a multi, and it was trash. So if you don't know what you don't know here in like for me, New York, or you in Massachusetts, it doesn't matter where you go. You're not gonna know it. So just once you know, you can kind of migrate to other places that have lower purchase price, build, and then bring it back home to Massachusetts.
Yeah. So what I'd like to say is, this is just one of many strategies, right? One of many strategies where we show people how they can acquire properties. This is what he did in this one scenario. There are so many other strategies out there that you can get you into properties, right? You can use strategies like lease options and subject tos. And if you don't know what that means that, there's some more knowledge out there that you may want to seek that can get you into properties, even though it might be a high price point. It's still strategies. Another strategy, contract for deed, which we're actually doing a training on right now. One of our out in our Chicago office, right? So there's a lot of different strategies out there. It's just knowing them, right? Because we don't know what we don't know. So my advice would say, hey, you know what? Let me just get some more knowledge and some more information about the different strategies out there that can help you achieve the goal that you're looking to achieve within real estate. Anyone else want to add on?
I want to show, let me share my screen. I want everybody to see what his quad cities are. So if you see right here, right, let me see if I can do this.
There you go.
Right, there it is. So these are the quad cities. This is Moline. So you're here, right? You got a property.
Yes, we got Moline, Rock Island, Davenport, and Benton.
Right here is Rock Island. And where are you on? This is Davenport.
So Davenport, yeah, I'm like a little bit more up to the left, right there.
Like over here.
Yeah.
And then
the other ones are in where you have that arrow at, right to the right of it, Moline. Down.
So this one, what about up here where it says Riverdale?
No, that's still Iowa. That's all the Iowa side. I'm back
so
over.
This is the Iowa side. So if you could count, you see this, I guess it's separated by this highway. and you got 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's why they call it the Quad Cities, right? These are the four areas. And let me clear this. Show us where you have a property. You have a property in Moline. You got
So yeah, I got two in Moline, right on that, right, you're on the right side of the highway, so correct. Right, I got two
right
right
here.
on the
You
area.
got 2 here,
And then I got one up on that Davenport side, like where
There
you
you
were that last time.
and you got 1. So for those that are looking at the proximity, these are the Quad Cities right here. And if we clear out some, this is where he has 2 and then 1 property here. So it's pretty close, right? It's pretty close. And then we can just pan out where you can see it's just a certain part of the country.
Right, Illinois, like Chicago's in Illinois, right, guys?
Right.
Right.
So it's right here in
Chicago,
Illinois.
right?
Yeah.
It's like what, 2.5, 3 hours away, I believe.
There it is. That's it. That's it. And then I'm over here with you over here
Spring,
down
yeah,
in Bloomington.
yeah.
See, so I'm out here, you're out here. We got a big team out here. So we're in Illinois pretty much, period. All of us. Just wanted to show everybody in terms of proximity, you could do real estate anywhere in the country. You got family somewhere, you got friends somewhere, you're comfortable in another spot. It's all about having the confidence to do it. And obviously, JC got it.
System to do it.
System.
All right.
System.
Big Junior. Junior wants to know, you used a bank mortgage or another type of lending institution?
We used a regular bank, like a local lender.
Okay. Ketlin wants to know, do you have suggestions for an investor looking for long distance rentals without direct connections in other states?
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that means. Anybody know what that means?
I think she means like relatives that live there, like you don't know anybody. I'll pick a spot, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, here. Can I invest there? Yeah, you can.
Sure. Just got to do your market research, do your market analysis on why you would invest in that city. So absolutely, strategies work no matter where. It's just you understanding what's happening in that particular market. That's why market analysis is one of the first things you want to do before you decide to invest in the city. You have to understand what's going on in that particular market. As we see how Jasmine broke down a lot that was going on in her market. She understands her market. So now she's just trying to figure out, okay, what strategies can I use to dive into this market? Got to understand the market first.
You're welcome, Ketlin. You're welcome. You're welcome. I knew what you meant.
So Karen wants to know, how long have you had the first property, the condo, and how many tenants?
I closed that one February 2020. Everything is recent. Everything has been recent. So I closed that one February 2020. I haven't even had them for a year yet, right? As far as
How many tenants is in that one?
just one.
One tenant, okay.
One.
Boom.
And then she says, have you been able to retain the same tenant in that unit? Well, yeah, it's all recent, so he's not even you know what I mean?
saw it, Ron, did?
These is all new rentals.
Yeah, I just been.
He just got started with us with our organization system February of 2020. So matter of fact, why don't you tell him the story? Tell him what happened when you first found us, because you were we called too cool for school guy. Like you was like, I got this. Tell people what happened. Tell them the scenario. What made you? And I mean, dive a little deeper into that story. What happened?
Man, that's funny. So like I said, I had my girlfriend with me, and she's so supportive, man. Shout out to her. We signed up for the tax and legal course. She actually went out there with me looking for this place in the cold, mind you, walking around Queens College trying to find this place. We didn't find it, but this was for after like I went already to the property in New Jersey. I saw Clifton, I saw them, and then Joe invited me to the mastermind. Right, here's the pivotal point, my guys. Here's the pivotal point. The mastermind is when you got everybody in the community in one room talking about real estate deals. That's crazy. The knowledge in that room, can't put a price tag on it. I go in, right? Again, I thought I knew what I knew. I was like, man, I know the zoning. I know they already got buildings over here coming up in Jersey City. I thought I knew it all, right? And I go in there and I'm like, yeah, here's this, here's what I gotta do, here's the mortgage. I'm living in the top unit for like $600 in New York. Who can do it like that? Who can do it like that? And they tore that up, right? That was a humbling experience for me. That was a real humbling experience for me. If you know me, I don't like being embarrassed, right? I hear it all the time in the morning meetings. It's never, you don't look cool learning, right? And that's what I realized. Like, I was still learning and I didn't know nothing, right? YouTube, Google, it ain't it. It does not work, right? I couldn't call nobody there. The information that I thought was good, they just proved that it wasn't that good. And yeah, it was embarrassing. So I came home a little like down and out, like, dang, you know, they said the deal, nobody would do it. 12 people in the room, 10 of them said nobody would do it. I'm like, oh man, I am not in a good spot. I'm not in a good spot. What am I doing? And they're like, ooh, you gonna spend how much money there? Man, listen. And I was like, oh shit, I'm spending how much money? Oh, I can't do that. So listen, I got out that freaking mastermind and I immediately called my realtor. I was like, look, I don't want to do this shit. Excuse my French. I don't want to do this. I cannot do this. There's this wrong with it. And I just recited everything that they recited to me. I didn't have the education yet, and silence over the phone from my realtor. Like, oh, you kind of know what you're talking about now, huh? Oh, yeah. And then I think a month after that, 2 months, I closed the condo, right? But it was that pivotal point for me that, I mean, they say, I think I was in the whole, like, what, 20, 30K of repairs that was supposed to be happening.
Just about.
It was crazy. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't, and that was the problem.
That's why we say our mastermind is always better than your one mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Second set of eyes to just, look at it from a different vantage point, give you a different perspective, maybe something you're missing, maybe, it's a lot. So I see this happen often, right? Because a lot of people are just so eager to get their first deal done. So, I just got to get, and listen, that's great. But what happens is now you may start getting a little emotionally attached to the deal just to get it done. And you start overlooking things that maybe you should be really paying more attention to, and that can kill you in the end. So it happens a lot. It happens a lot.
And the other big thing is you don't know what you don't know until you're in the middle of something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want to commend you. I mean, I remember that day. I commend you on taking those notes. Took it like a man. You didn't show it that day, but I remember going through those numbers and I was like, wow, they really ate that deal up. But
man, that's an understatement.
I commend you on taking action though. A lot of us will take that, walk away and say, okay, I learned that, and do it on your own. You say, you know what? This is where I need to be. And you always say, you're so humble about it, but I like to commend you a lot because you take action, you're young, and you didn't let that part humble you and didn't let that take you out of your zone. You saw your vision quest and you went after it and you did it. And not only that, you keep repeating the steps and you're getting better. Look at you, you're changing, you're telling the bank how they can do their own thing on this deal right now. You gave knowledge to the bank of how they can do their own loan better. Just on your knowledge, that's golden, man. That's awesome. The way you're speaking, I mean, listen, I've seen you. I'm very proud of your growth, man. You are awesome. I think everybody on here, we should all commend them. I mean, to be out of state, not even being to see them is takes a lot of confidence and just resilience, and knowing that you can rest on our community to help you with that. And that's amazing, man. Amazing stuff.
Thank you guys, man.
You the man, bro. You are the man.
You the man, bro.
You the man. All right, so Robert says, what's up, Robert? Robert says, oh, he just wanted to thank us for taking time out and getting this together. Super dope, guys. Tons of info. No problem, Robert. Junior says, thank you. What else? Oh, Ron, she said, thanks. That's what, okay, she understood what you want. So hold on, let me go down a little bit here. Okay, so James Brown, James says, rental community should be able to tell you that in the area you are interested in, friends and relatives there. I guess he was commenting on something. So Janet says, if I use my IRA to purchase a house, could I flip it or do I have to do rentals?
Self-directed IRA, man. Matt Sorensen.
So she wants to know. So Janet, there, it's your money, right? You use it for whatever you feel makes sense for you. You could use it for flips. You could use it for rentals. You could use it for money lending. I go to another lender. You be the bank, which is what I learned how to do, right? So it's the sky's the limit. It just know how to access the funds. But then, right, you have to be knowledgeable because you could use it to do any of these things, but you also want to be knowledgeable on how to run the numbers on that said flip or that rental or the money lending. So it always still goes back to the knowledge. And a lot of people say, oh, I don't have money to do deals. I know a lot of people who do have money to do deals, but what they lack is the knowledge. And as you heard from JC, he said, okay, he had the confidence, he had a certain level of knowledge, he didn't have enough. So that's when he decided to get more knowledgeable in order to start making deals, happen. So you can use it forever, for whichever you feel, suits your needs, suits your goal. So Kim says, how long did it take you to get renters to your properties? Good question, Kim.
Good question. So the first one was 3 days. The second one was 5. And then this one's going to take the longest just because I have to paint it first and put carpet in.
Oh, that's quick.
But
Yeah,
that's
fast. All right. Junior says, what class talked about the mobile notary?
no class. I don't think no class did. That was just from my other last 2 that I did. And they had like I said, for my first 2, I used a separate, different lender, and they use mobile notaries. So that's the only reason why I knew, to be, full disclosure, that's the only reason why I knew how or how it operates. But understanding mortgages is.
If you take the title escrow closing class, the title escrow closing and the contract class talks about the notary and the importance of and the different ways you can do. So a mobile notary is just a technology advancement, right? Junior, buying properties out of state, we've done it. They'll email you the stuff. They use Acrobat, DocuSign, and things like that.
Yeah.
There's different ways to do this remotely, right? Just understand. So title escrow and closing right there is going to help us with that if you're looking for the class. And then for you, just remember, you buy a property out of state, we have the technology to close without you being at the title office. You have the technology to do that. But to learn more about it, you go to title escrow closing and also the contracts class, because title escrow closing, it talks about different ways you can close on a deal. The different ways, if you're far, if you're near, if you're in another country, things like that. So title escrow closing talks about that.
All right. Go Zia, Money G. What's going on, brother? Says a true inspiration. JC, true inspiration. Greg says, big up to JC for taking action. Tim said thanks, and Janet said thanks. And I think I'm at the last. That's it. I don't think we have any more questions.
Rapid fire.
Anybody else?
Yeah,
if I missed your question, please throw it in the chat. Or if you still have a question, please throw it in the chat. We got JC probably for another 5 or so minutes. So we want to make sure everyone walks away with their questions answered before we move out of here. Ron, if not, you could throw up the slides while they still think about throwing up some more questions or whatever.
Or the property? Which one you want? Property or?
Close it out. Like,
All right, so that's it. That's our panelists again. Thank Juan Carlos for opening up all his ideas, his knowledge. I mean, sharing what he's done. Jason, of course, Machine, Joe Styles, myself. Again, look at JC. It's what he's done this year, 2020. How have you spent your 2020? This is how
I like how you put that together, Ron.
Yeah.
I did a Joe style. I did it while we're doing this. Joe style.
I love that.
Right? Condo, the first one, right? I was in what? Was it August? That was August. What was that?
no, that was like February.
That was February. This is August. And this is right now. Awesome. Just closed it what, yesterday, right? I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday we got
Yesterday, guys, brand new fresh.
last night. Crazy.
Last night, we were on the phone with you. Right?
Yeah, we was on the phone with him last night while he was closing it out.
Wait, hold on. Put that slide right back up one more time, Ron. Thank you.
Just got taking pictures.
No, I wanted that too. I was like, dang, he passed it already.
No, I got you guys. No problem. I had to do it real quick. I had to let people see, the magnitude of what this guy's done. He's humble about it, but he's done, he's doing it, doing the knowledge and doing it. Greg has a question, Jason.
I
Okay.
can answer that.
Oh, go ahead. I was gonna answer it. Go
So
ahead.
Greg said, well, you can answer it too. So how could someone from another country, such as Canada or the Caribbean, use our education to invest in properties in the United States? All they need is an entity here, right? The person has to have a LLC or S Corp or entity here, some type of business registered in the United States, and then they can do what they want to do in the US. That's one of the ways that I learned, because I used to have that question too. How do you do it? You just establish an entity.
That's it.
Okay.
That is the answer.
Oh, they answered it. All right.
That's an easy one. Thank you,
Last
Greg.
one.
That was an easy one, Greg.
All right. Again, if you're just learning about us and you guys are first timers, get more knowledge about it. Ask the person who invited you about our introduction tomorrow at 11 a.m. I will be there. Oh, Karen has one more question. Go ahead, Karen.
Yeah, I was gonna wait till you finish. But I go, Karen, great question, Karen. And if you saw the original slides, right, we showed him at his job.
Yeah,
So
good working.
she says not to be all in your pockets, right? She don't want to know. She want to count your money, but she want to know, do you still have a job?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
So yes, he does.
Yeah. For now.
But now he's
For
still
now.
working. He's working on getting out of work.
Yeah, he's in the
Out of
scrubs.
working.
Right there. He's in the scrubs. Right there,
Right.
Karen.
So you see in his first, there you go. There's the slide. So that's him at his job.
You can do it too, Karen. Come on, Karen. ATL, let's go. All right.
Good question. I'm trying to be there. Yeah, it's all good. Don't try, just be there.
All right, don't try.
No trying.
All right. Any more questions before I get going? I'm about to- One last question, last call. This is it. Put them in the chat right now.
That's funny.
If not, tomorrow morning, I will be doing an introduction with Yvonne at 11 a.m. Follow up. If you've been through the process already, you have some follow-up questions, a Q&A. You can do that follow-up tomorrow night with Newton at 7 p.m. If not, you can't make it Sunday, can't make it tomorrow, an introduction Tuesday with the machine, none other than Jason, Bartender J, Tuesday night at 7 p.m. He also is doing velocity banking. And that's the strategy we use right now to pay down debt at an accelerated rate without changing about making double payments or increasing your income. Right? Jason paid down $19,000 in 9 months. I think Jill was talking this morning. She paid off $43,000 on her mortgage, what, in 2 months? Something like that, Jason? Am I correct?
Yeah, and it cut off 4 years off of her mortgage.
Cut 4 years off her mortgage. You hear that, Jasmine? People with mortgages on there cut the year.
Yeah, so that's another thing, right? Let's pause there for a hot second, right? So I see JC getting excited over there. I'm gonna pass it up to JC because JC actually uses velocity banking to start paying off his rentals
All right, give me this back.
faster.
Yeah,
So
Jason.
JC, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So that velocity banking is that fire con queso, because
Whoa.
I literally just with that thing right there, with that first property, I learned how to pay my mortgage off in 1.8 years. Exactly. Right. And then the same with the second. Right. And the beauty is, like Ron said, like you don't change the lifestyle. So I don't have to go and get more, trade more time for money. I just operate the same and pay my debt off fast. If you
Yes.
have bills, if you have debt, you need to be doing that, right? It'll eliminate also more fear about getting mortgages and getting debt, because you know in your head that's gonna be paid off like this. It's, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, I remember JC hit me up. He had created a spreadsheet. He's like, yo, Jason, let's just take a look at this, man. Am I going crazy? I looked at the numbers. I'm like, nah, man, you got it, man. This is right. You will have this thing paid off like probably about 2 years, right? And if you guys think about it, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I don't want to pay because of the tax advantage and all that. Well, I say whatever. If you're making enough money to avoid just cash flowing on a property, whatever, you don't need the tax writer, right? Get the cash flow. Cash flow beats it out. So it's a great strategy. Crazy strategy.
Anybody got a mortgage online? Put an M in the chat if you got a mortgage. You got to come out Wednesday night. I don't care what you're doing. Change it, rearrange your schedule. You got to see Jason do it. I mean, everybody's, it's awesome. You got a mortgage. Put an M in the chat if you got a mortgage, because I definitely need to see it. You definitely need to see it.
Or a car loan, anything.
There you go. It's Michelle. There you go. One.
Yeah, you pay off your car loans, student loans.
Shannon. Hey, Shannon. Karen. Yes. Greg. Kim. Look at this. Look at these M's.
My daughter would say, what was the M for? I missed it.
Mortgage. But it could be anything, right? Any type of loan. It could be a
Yeah.
mortgage, it could be a student loan, it could be your car loan, it could be a personal loan, right? It doesn't matter. Any type of debt, any type of loans that you have out there, you can use it. And even start paying off credit card debt as well. The strategy is crazy.
That was for you, Jasmine. Next level. Yeah. Well, it's kind of going over the same strategy again, Jasmine, but you can see. I mean, again, he's showing you how the velocity banking works. But again, that class is 5 to 6 hours long. This is not. He's giving you a snapshot of how it works.
Well, it's actually 16 hours because the one there's an advanced level,
like
which
this.
shows you,
They're going
which is
like
what they're doing right now in the
take one like that.
other training.
Take one. Okay, take one like this.
Shows off mute.
Again, wait before I go. Next weekend. Where's the drum roll? There's no drum roll. Next weekend, again, we got a triplex buy and hold. Carlos. I think Carlos paid $50 out of pocket, Jason, I believe.
Yeah, you just paid for application fee.
Application fee. $50 out of pocket, get a triplex that's cash flowing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's next week, another rental property.
Oh, Jasmine, watch the introduction. We'll show you how.
Yeah, Jasmine, you gotta watch that introduction we sent to you. It'll explain all that to you.
Again. All right. Any questions, last thoughts, comments, guys? You guys have been an awesome audience. Any questions? Bring in the chat. This is the last time to pick JC's brain. We'll give him congrats again. Thank you guys for coming online with us. Another crazy buy and hold virtual one. I love it. This is his third one. You guys can see the slides. Let me go back so you guys can see this. Again, 1, 2, 3, JC. Guys, awesome stuff. I want to thank my co-host, my panelists. Thanks, JC, for answering questions and being open with us. And that's our time. Again, ask the person who invited you about seeing your next step in your process, see the value, see our community, see our systems. Bring your deal, like Joe said. Bring your deal to our mastermind. He's opening it up. I've never seen that happen before. Now Joe is challenging. Bring your deals there. Let's go through it.
That's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow at 3:30. Bring your deals.
Get with whoever invited you and they give you access. Get with whoever invited you to get access to our mastermind session.
And say, Joe Styles invited me, here's my deal.
Yeah, you gotta have a deal. You gotta bring a deal. I challenge anybody that think that they understand what's a good deal. And let's see if you're right. Let's see how right you are on the deals that you have. Let's just see. It might help you. It might help you. Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. Just bring it in. and to the team members that's out there, you know, also bring in the deals. Let's see if the mastermind can help you. If we get together, right? The more brains, the better. The more brains, the better.
Good
You're
job.
welcome, Kim. You're welcome, Kim. Well, that's our time, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us for an hour and change. Thank you, JC, for your knowledge, wisdom,
That's y'all.
all that good stuff.
You can follow JC. There he is. Follow him. Big JC.
Thanks for your time, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank everybody else for being here with us, right? Thanks for hanging out with us. Much appreciated.
That's it. I'm going to start jazzing you guys out of here. That's it. Let's see who's here. Who's the granite? Who's here?